Okay, I am going to, it is now 10:30. What commission, we have Commissioner Giuliani here, I'm here. What commissioners do we have on the phone or on Skype? Commissioner Duarte, are you there? Commissioner Scully, are you there?
Can everyone still hear everyone? I just lost all sound.
No, I cannot hear.
Okay. So,
I think everybody's just on mute, Randy.
Oh, go ahead, try again.
okay, Commissioner Duarte, are you here?
Yep, I can hear now.
Okay. Commissioner Godley?
I'm here.
Okay. Commissioner Scully? Is Commissioner Scully here? Okay, we have 4 of the 5. We have a quorum. I'm going to call the Groton Utilities Commission Water Pollution Control Authority meeting, special meeting for April 8th, 2020 to order. We are at the City of Groton Municipal Building. In response to the State of Connecticut Executive Order 7B, Protection of Public Health and Safety During COVID-19 Pandemic and Response, further suspension or modification of statutes dated 14 March 2020, suspending in-person open meeting requirements. All public meetings will be closed to the public at this time. Public meetings will be televised in real time on Groton Municipal Television, Channel 2, and online. When you respond, you need to state your name, and you need to state your name and who you are for the record so that it's captured on the record. New business we have is a COVID-19 update. Just want to update you real quick on what we're doing. We're down to a skeleton crew in the municipal building. We are conducting remote meetings, just like virtual meetings like what we have now. We have implemented the executive orders that the governor's put out. He's put out a new executive order this morning, 7V or 7 Victor, that we are currently going through and determining how that impacts the city and the utility. And I will turn it over to Mark Byron to talk about COVID-19 protections, things that we're doing for COVID-19 from an operations point of view. So Mark.
All right, thank you, Mayor. This is Mark Byron. On the 27th of March, I submitted a written, updated, comprehensive plan to COVID-19. And in electric operations, water operations, and the pollution control facility, we are practicing social distancing. We are not allowing face-to-face customer contact, if at all possible. We are actively tracking every day attendance and reconciling every single absence to make sure it's not due to COVID-19. Anybody that demonstrates any kind of symptoms is asked to leave, and we are following the policy that HR promulgated a couple of weeks ago. We are emphasizing, people stay home when they're sick, and also following all of the recommendations from the governor's executive orders on how to, correctly perform hygiene, how to, what kind of cleaning and deep cleaning we're doing in the buildings. And obviously we have stopped all travel requirements. In addition to that, we did draft up a memorandum of understanding between the utilities and the steelworkers. And I got to say, Rick and Ray did a great job. So on the steelworker side of the house, we are separating even further our employees and protecting the business by sending roughly half the employees at home subject to call, and we're rotating them on a weekly basis. and there's a whole bunch of different logistical things to make that work. And Rick and Ray and the steelworkers have worked all that out, and I really do appreciate the support from the steelworkers on getting to a written and signed memorandum of understanding. On the electric side of the house, on 007, we have a similar MOU drafted. They have not accepted it as of yet. We do have a meeting later today to have a short discussion on this. We're in agreement that what we put out there and what the steelworkers accepted is very reasonable and protects our business, minimizes our risk, and also protects our employees. So that's where we are today. Thank you.
Okay. I also let Tina Daniels talk about customer service aspect of this. Tina?
Hi, Tina Daniels. Just really quick, we're doing pretty close to the same thing that Mark is doing on the customer service side, getting people working remote. So on the billing side of the house, we stopped charging any late fees as of around the 17th of March on all customer bills. And we will continue that until further notice. And that is for all customers, not just residential, across the board. The Pfizer's, EBs, hotels, restaurants, doesn't matter. No late fees are being charged. We are still continuing to set shut-off notices to our customers that are past due. We did adjust it, and it is actually more of a reminder to let them know that Groton Utilities will work with any customer to assist them with payment arrangements. And basically that the customer needs to continue to attempt to pay something, because after this, their bills will be due. We are not forgiving bills. And we've had pretty good luck. We haven't heard anything back from the customers, feeling that it was, rude or anything. And actually, we've gotten more customers calling, wanting to do payment arrangements and working with us to ensure that when everything comes back online, that their services won't be shut off. We also included in a reminder all the local social services and people that are actually given money or have money to assist with customers. If anybody would like to see it, I can send a reminder to your email. That's perfectly fine. Or just don't pay your utility bill for 1 month. And then just keep in mind that we do have an electric rate increase that went into effect April 1st. That was set up 3 years ago. I just kind of want everybody to know that we did institute it, and it is going out. So customers will see on the bottom of their bills this month that there was an electric rate increase. And we are doing flushable product inserts in the month of April, all of Groton Utilities bills, whether they have water or not, or whether they're a city sewer or a town sewer. We're sending the inserts, and if you'd like to see it beforehand, just let me know. I can send a copy of the inserts. So that's it.
Okay.
I believe George is on the meeting now.
Commissioner Scully, are you online? No? Oh, it's Ray Valentini. Okay, never mind. All right, is there any...
Mayor, it's Jeff Godley. I have to take a call at 11. I've been wrapped up on new loan programs, and I have to work with the banks, and I'm going to have to get off at 11.
Okay, that's fine. It is a special meeting. There will be, there's not a quorum needed for this. This is information only. So if you have to leave at 11, you can leave at 11, and just let us know so that for the record, we know when you left. But
okay, thank you.
But there will be no votes during a special meeting. Any other COVID-19 updates? Okay, moving forward, we're going to move to agenda item B, management review of the proposed operating capital budgets for the electric division for fiscal year 2020-2021. Is that to use that to E? Do you want to kick it off?
I'll kick it off.
Okay,
So to kick this off, he's actually gonna go through each of the budget packages for electric, water, and sewer. And I'm gonna kick it off just by introducing the org chart, because the expense side of the budget is built of salaries on one side and parts and pieces and everything on the other side. So a good portion of the budget is positions. So for this year's budget, there's basically, the org chart that I've included with the packages includes all four divisions, including Basra. And it has down the bottom a summary of what's in this year's budget, the differences between this year's budget and the proposed budget that you all have in front of you, and what that is. And basically the only difference is there's one position in IT that was actually already added this year because we basically had an IT drain in the area that caused us to take one high-level IT position and bring in 2 junior people to get them trained up. So the budget actually didn't change much for IT, but it did go up one FTE, one staff person. So dollars to dollars, it was not a significant change. The sewer at the PAF, they're recommending bringing in one new junior person to bring us up to staffing guidelines as per the operating manual of the plan. So that's included in this budget. And then the other one that is being looked at is one proposed mechanic to take care of the fleet, which is being added into the budget with a business case to follow. And I believe the preliminary on the business case that Mark Byron is doing and has basically seen shows that when we look at that in the future, that's going to look like it saves as much money as it spends. But the thought at this time is to add it to the budget and then let the business case justify it with whether we move forward with that position add or not. So in terms of personnel, that is the only difference. We can address specific questions probably as we go through each of the business units, but I wanted to give the high level case because we passed out the org chart last year and everybody liked getting it. I got positive feedback that we actually passed it out.
okay,
With that, if there's no questions, we can pass it to you.
okay, go ahead.
E, you want to take it?
Yes, okay. Hold on, just let me share my screen first so everybody can see that before we start.
So E's actually going to guide us through the packages in a in a nice way. And she's going to tell us what page she's on, because in order to see the detail of what page she's on, you're going to need to look at the package in front of you.
Okay.
But on the screen, she's actually going to be flipping through them, so you'll actually see the page she's looking at for guidance overall. Is that correct, E?
Okay, before I start, can you see my screen?
Yes,
Oh, okay. So, good morning, Mayor and Commissioners and everyone. This is E. Sean, County Manager of Groton Utility Finance Department. So today I'm going to present the fiscal 2021 GU proposed budget for water, for electric, water, and sewer division for your review and discussion. So please keep in mind during the presentation, if you have any questions, please feel free to stop anytime and ask, and we can discuss. So what I'm going to do right now is we'll start from the proposed budget for electric division. And
E,
yes,
your presentation's in reverse.
The TV's back.
It needs a 180.
Is there like a backwards button?
it's reverse. What do you mean?
Yeah, well, what's on the left should be on the right, right should be on the left. It's backwards. It's like you're reading through the back of the page.
Hold on, he doesn't see it. We're
Oh, yeah,
trying-
but you see it, right?
I see them both. It is being broadcast on the smart board, and then what's on the TV is basically a mirror image,
That's right.
but it's backwards. So
It would.
we're evaluating what we can do about that at this point. So
Okay.
it will be awkward for the people on TV, but for the commissioners, you'll have this in front of you. We'll also put this on the website so that after this meeting, people can see it.
Yeah, we're seeing it fine over here in the operations building.
Right. Well, are you guys are connected to the Skype meeting. So if you're connected to Skype, you're seeing it correctly. If you're looking at it on television, it's a mirror image.
Right. Well,
So-
I mean, I was just letting her know that because I have it on my computer.
I understand.
And that's right.
So what we are going to do is we're going to continue the meeting, and we're going to see if we can get this fixed in parallel, but the technical aspect of it, but we will continue the meeting. E, please continue.
All right.
Okay.
And if would you at least call out the page? Seeing I can't tell,
Okay,
I
she
won't
is-
know where you are.
She is on page
Maybe.
1.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay, sure, I will do that. Okay, so if you can go to the page 1, not the narrative, and it's actual page 1, which is about the revenue. That is the page we're going to talk about, start with.
Okay.
Okay, so for the fiscal year 2021 budget proposed for ground utility, electric division is presented with actual fiscal year 2018, actual fiscal year 2019, projected 2020, and approved 2020 budget for comparison purpose. So revenue are developing using the new rates effective April 1st of 2020, which Tina just mentioned a few minutes ago. And the historic sales data ended with the December 31st of 2019. The new rate with a 1% increase is a last rate increase of an approved 3-year rate increase started on April 1st of 2018. Even though this is a 1% increase, because we have a 2%, 1% for 3 years rate increase, but the customer will not see any increase from their bill because we increase the purchase power adjustment credit to offset the impact of this 1% increase as we planned and originally. So the overall 2021 budget kilowatt hours usage is 0.2% higher than fiscal year 2022 budget. The new rates combined with increasing the kilowatt hour sales result in a 1% or it's showing here. We're showing the 1% or 422,000 increase in total electric revenue, which is 56 million. So this is about the revenue side budget proposed for 2021. Any question?
Any questions from the commissioners? Okay, E, please continue.
Okay. So then we go to the next page. The first thing I want to talk about is power cost, which is shown as this section. Power cost proposed for 2021 will remain the same as current year's rate. In accordance with the cost of service study, the power purchase adjustment (PPA) will be set at 0.0026 dollars per kilowatt hours. Last year, the current year is the credit of 0.0055 per kilowatt hours. And the transmission cost adjustment, which is TCA, will remain unchanged at 0.00393 per kilowatt hours. So this will result in a utilization of about 1.1 million of CMEC rate stabilization funds. So this is how we budgeted for the power cost of fiscal year 2021. Any question over there?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, then I will just change a little bit the order, and I'm keep talking about the operating expense and leave the capital project at the end, because I want to continue this page 2. So next, we're going to talk about operating expense. Operating expense are developed using historic information and adjusted for known change. So the operating and maintenance expense, which goes to here you can see the operating and maintenance expense proposed for 2021 are 60 million, which is 5% or 815,000 increase over fiscal year 2020. So you can see we break down by labor and non-labor. Among this increase, so 412,000, which is 10%, came from the labor increase, and 402,000, which is 4%, from the non-labor expense budget. So this labor increase, which include one new position, they budgeted in electric operation, and one new position budgeted in IT operations. And non-labor expense, the increase includes an increase of benefit and insurance expense of 130,000, an increase of a city service charge of 46,000. Oops, sorry. And bond issue and interest expense of 135,000 related to the new bonding, and increase of IT expense of 62,000 for dark fiber collection between the municipal building and operation complex, and the professional service for system operating and support. So this is for the operating and maintenance expense, the budget. So any questions here?
Okay, go ahead.
Before we go ahead, and here's one thing I want to point out. Here you can see the return to the city. So usually we do the calculation every February 15, 2020 with the projected financial result, and per calculation, and this year we budgeted to remain the same amount of return to the city for 2021, which is 4.1 million.
Okay.
And so overall, with the proposed budget and operating expense, the purchase power, and all these factors, so that get the operation earnings by 3.1 million, which 11% below last year's budget, and plus the interest other charge, which we gave the net earnings 2.4 million, which is 11%, or 289,000 less than last year's budget. And then we can go to get into the cash flow. So we start with 2.4 million net earnings, and we add the depreciation, cash back, and we add the vehicle reserve contribution, and we projected 2.5 million for issuing the new bond. And we can talk about this later. So it gets us the 7.1 million cash available to fund the non-bonded capital, the vehicle purchase, the bonded capital project, debt service for GU bond, debt service for TVC bond, and then the cash reserve for vehicle, working capital, and IT non-bonded capital, customer service non-bonded capital, and 75,000 for furniture for relocation. So that result of 1.9 million cash decrease for fiscal year 2021, and then that bring the projected cash ending cash balance from 13 million to 11 million. But when we compare with cost of service study, the projected cash balance, this 11.8 million is 36% less than the cost of service projected cash balance of 18.4 million, but still 19% more than the recommended minimum cash balance of 9.9 million. So when we discuss with the management group, and they feel comfortable with this ending balance. So any question with the cash flow?
Commissioner Giuliani?
Help me out so I can compare things equally. The page 4, the approved budget, bottom line, ending cash balance, 14,600. I'm sorry, 14,600,690. In last year's budget presentation, there was a line below that which indicated less electric restriction funds. And that line was carried back to 19, 17, 18, and 19, and 20. It was a negative figure. It's not in this report, producing a net restricted cash fund balance of a lesser amount. Why would that, is that not part of this year's program? Is that why it's not included in this report?
Yeah, I took that out because when we talked with the cost service study, the consultant, Mark, and he recommended when we do the cash balance, we kind of just think about the overall, which includes the restricted cash and non-restricted cash together. That's what he compared and his study. So in try to apply with his numbers, we try to put this as not allocate to the restricted and non-restricted and put them together as whole to do the comparison.
I think I understand.
Does that answer your question?
We just pretty much, instead of having those restricted funds separated out, it's just Mark's.
Hold on, this is Ron Uhas,
sorry.
Finance Director.
What Mark from the cost service I recommended keep, even though it's restricted, it still can be used for operational needs for certain things. The only one that he left restricted was any unspent bond proceeds. He kept that as restricted,
Okay,
and everything else rolled into one.
got it.
Okay. Any other questions from commissioners? Okay. Anything else on electric?
I haven't finished the capital.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Okay,
Go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. So if you go to the page 6,
Okay.
okay. So the non-funded capital project proposed for 2021 total is 2.4 million, which is an increase of 7% or 154,000 over the 2020. So electric operation non-funded capital project without the vehicle, because vehicle will be funded by the vehicle restricted fund. So the non-funded capital without vehicle replacement, there will be around 2 million. And next page have the showing the IT non-funded capital project total 455,000, of which 273,000 is allocated to electric division. And also customer service, the projected total 154,000 of non-funded capital project, of which 92,000 is allocated to the electric division. So this is for non-funded capital project proposed for 2021 for electric division. Any questions?
Any questions on the electric budget, electrical division budget from the commissioners? Okay, hearing none. E, please continue.
Excuse?
Yeah, I have one.
All right, Commissioner Duarte?
Yeah. The vehicle replacement, 401,000.
Yes.
Okay, is that, well, when I was reading the narrative that's on the page, it came confusing. This 400,000 are actually going to buy vehicles, right?
Correct.
Not use that money to support other functions.
No.
Yeah, because when you read the narrative, at least when I read the narrative, I thought it sounded like that money was being transferred until I got to this page on here. So I just wanted it confirmed that that is really going to vehicles.
Okay. Yeah, that's a little bit confusing. Let's go back to cash flow because I can. So if you go back to the page 4, so you can see there's 2 items related to the vehicles. So we will do the vehicle the contribution to the vehicle restricted fund by 100,000. We contribute and put it back to the restricted cash, and also we will utilize 401,000 from the vehicle fund to fund the vehicle replacement for 2021.
Yeah, well, that's good. I just needed to know what was going on in the cars, so that
Yes.
was just
We
being
have-
sure.
Actually, I think Mark's team did a very good job this year, and they have evaluated all of the operation in the vehicles and to assessment them and to see what vehicles need to be replaced and which they have a priority order, and we need to for 5 years the plan for vehicle replacement. So I think they did an awesome job.
Yes, well, I mean, well, that was my concern. I believe we should be replacing aging vehicles, but when I saw that, I kept looking. It looked like someone was transferring money from from that by reading the narrative that it was coming out of the vehicle replacement program and going somewhere else. And that would have been a concern for me.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing. So, in other words, we will contribute $100,000 to the vehicle fund, and meanwhile, we will take out $401,000 from that fund to fund the vehicle replacement. So, net impact will be the negative $301,000 taken off from that vehicle fund.
Yes. Okay, nope, that's good.
Okay, we have a question from
Nope.
Commissioner Giuliani.
She just answered it.
Oh, never mind. Your question was answered. Are there any other questions on electric budget?
One more thing about the capital, which is bond fund capital projects. So let's go back to the page 6.
Okay,
So bonded capital projects proposed for 2021 are 2.5 million. These projects are part of a 5-year bonding plan that has been proposed by Geo Management. The 5-year bonding plan is in the amount of total amount of 12.5 million has been approved by the Utility Commission and their March 18, 2020 meeting, and will be presented to the City Council and the City Freeman.
correct. They were presented, the projects were presented to the commission, and the commission approved them, and then now we're going to bond council. Once bond council is done, they will dictate the language, and then when we go to the commission, when we go to the council and then to the Freeman for the authorization for bonding. Anything else on electric? Hearing none? Okay, let's go to water. E?
Okay. Let me close this. Okay, the same thing. We are start with the revenue side, which is on page 1.
Okay,
So the same thing. Water revenues are developed using the proposed new rates effective October 1st of 2020, and the historic sales data ended December 2019. The new rates are the first rate increase of a 3-year rate increase that has been proposed by GU Management and March meeting and March 2020 Utility Commission meeting. Currently, the public hearing and approval from the Utility Commission and the City Council is on hold due to the pandemic. So the overall cubic feet sales budgeted for 2021 are 1% higher than the sales budget for 2020. The new rates combined with increasing cubic feet sales result in a 4% or 469,000 increase here in total of water revenue of 11 million. So we can see from these sections here. And this is about the water revenue budget. Any questions?
okay, go ahead.
The next, we're going to the operating expense are developed using the historic information and adjusted for known change. Overall, operating and maintenance expense proposed for 2021 are 9.7 million, which is 4% increase compared with last year. And we also break it down by labor and non-labor. So the labor increase is 6.3%, which is 247,000, which is include one new position budgeted in IT operation and increase of labor allocation from capital to expense in water operations. So, which is here is 7% increase. For non-labor expense, which increased 2%, which is 120,000 from 2020 budget, which includes an increase of benefit and insurance expense of 88,000, an increase of a city service charge of 23,000, a bond issue and interest expense of 105,000 related to the new bonding, an increase of IT expense of 31,000 for the same reason, that a dark fiber connection between the municipal building and operation complex, and professional service and system upgrading and support. It also incorporates a reduction of 83,000 in the budgeted water operations. So this is overall for operating expense side for water. So any question here?
Commissioners? Hearing none, please continue.
We go to the next page. Then we can see the net earnings for 2020 is 2 million, which is 8% decrease, which is the 186,000. And then we go to next page, page 4. Go to the cash flow. Yes.
What's up with the antenna rentals? Why is there a decrease?
That's because is that this is related to TVC. So we took I take it out for the TVC just in case they are going to. Because it's changed the TVC. I don't know how to address that. Probably wrong.
Ray, do you want to fill in the blank?
Yeah, because TVC was sold, those antennas won't be in use, so they'll be coming down at some point.
On which day?
Okay, Ray, thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Please continue.
Okay, so let's continue the page 4, cash flow. So net earnings started with 2 million, which is pretty close with last year's. And so the same thing, we add the depreciation cash back. We add 1.4 million, which they propose the bond issuing. Then this 8 million is the projected receipt from the DWSRF, the water treatment plant, the loan portion. And then we projected the transfer 500,000 as the restricted cash for water treatment plant, the loan payments. So that provided 13 million cash available to fund the non-bonded capital for operation 180,000 and IT non-bonded capital, customer service non-bonded capital 2 million for the bond fund projects, 11 million for water treatment plant projects. And the same thing, this is a transfer of 500 million for water treatment plant restricted cash. We transfer from here and adding back to the restricted fund. Then this is 648,000 for the service and the 50,000 for working capital. So then net cash impact is 1.8 million negative, which bring the cash balance from the 7.5 million to 5.7 million. So when we compare this, the same thing we did the comparison with cost of service study projections. So this 5.8 million projected ending cash balance for 2021, which is about 11% less than the cost of service study projected cash balance of 6.5 million, but it's still 12% more than the recommended minimal cash balance of 5.1 million. So, any question regarding the cash flow for water?
Commissioners? Okay, hearing none, go ahead. I'm sorry, Paul, is that you? Commissioner Duhart, is that you? Did someone have a question? Okay, E, please continue.
Okay. So then I'm going to go to the capital budget, which is on page 6.
Okay.
So for non-bonded capital, non-bonded capital cost proposed for 2021 total is 363,000, which is 35% or 301,000 over 2020. So which includes the water operation non-bonded capital of 180,000, which is here with 2 projects. And also for the IT non-bonded capital project water portion of 137,000, and customer service the non-bonded capital project the water allocation of 46,000. And bonded capital project aside from the water treatment plant rebuild proposed for 2021 are 2.1 million. Another 600,000. This is include 1.5 million from the new bonding, and another 600,000, which is for non-hill pump substation, non-hill pump station. 600,000, which is actually this is the 2012 bond fund project, which is going to be planned to complete in 2021. So which is make the total of 2.1 million bonded capital projection for 2021.
Okay.
The same thing, and for new bonding, which is approved by the UC meeting, but is still waiting for the approval from the City Council and the City Freeman. So I just want to mention here, this new 5-year bonding plan is in a total of 7.5 million for water division. This is overall for water division. Oh, I think I forgot something when we talk about the electric. There's one chart I want to show to the commissioners. This is Aaron did a good job to help with update this graph, and so Aaron did the comparison graph for 3 divisions with GU rates with the benchmark. And this is for water. And we compare the GU. You can see there's 3 bars. The dark blue one is the regional benchmark. The orange one is our current water rates. And the light blue one is the proposed GU rates effective October 1st with the new rate increase. So you can see, usually we compare with 500 the cubic feet, which is average the household usage, and the GU will be 4.3% less than the regional benchmark in October. So this is a graph we just provided with the package for commissioners' information.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. So if you want to see electric, you can go back. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention
No,
that
the
when we
commissioners can go
went
back
through
in
the
the-
electric budget.
No, that's okay. The commissioners can go back and look at that for a graphical representation if they want to go back and refamiliarize themselves with it. That's okay. Are there
Okay,
any
thank-
questions on water?
I do have some questions, Keith.
Okay, Commissioner Duarte?
On the bonded capital projects, I just want to make sure I have this clear. Number 1 is old money, and 2, 3, and 4 are going to be new money.
Correct.
Okay, and what is being done to the Brandegee standpipe?
Ray, can you answer that question?
Paul, we like to build a new one there. That one is
Hold on.
1946.
This is Ray Valentini.
Yeah, right. That would be
Hold
the
on,
cost
stop.
of the whole replacement?
Stop. Everybody stop. I want to remind everyone that when you speak, you have to identify yourselves as part of the new executive order, which allows this. So when you
Yep,
speak,
okay.
identify who
Paul
you are.
Duarte speaking.
Okay, go ahead. Commissioner Duarte.
Yes. Ray, so that's the cost of the replacement?
This is Ray speaking. Yes, it is, Paul, because of the small spot. If we have to put that tank in the same spot, we have to take that one down first and then
Yeah.
put another one up. So that's why it's so costly.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's good to know that one is getting replaced. And actually, I thought it would cost a little bit more than that. But good. Okay, I'm good.
This is Mark Byron.
Yes, Mark.
That is only the cost in 2021. That tank is actually closer to $3 million, right, Ray?
Right. Well, that's what I was getting at. Is I mean,
That's the
I
cost
wouldn't.
we're going to incur next year.
So I mean, what does that 750 get? 750. Is that? I mean, where does it go from there? I mean, is that taking down the old tank and prepping the ground for the new tank, or?
This is Ray again. Paul, that on our schedule, we're looking to start taking that. The first thing is to move all those antennas over.
Yep.
So that's the first part of the project, and design and start to go out to bid for removal of that tank.
Okay. But the total cost on replacing that's $3 million plus.
Yeah, I will
Yes,
show you. Sorry, this is Yishan again. I tried to open the file with 5-year plan so you can see the whole picture.
Oh, yeah, well, that thing on TV I can't see anyway. It's all blurry and, it's small and you really can't read it.
Okay, we will ensure that I think we've already reviewed the 5-year plan, but we can ensure that the commissioners get an updated copy of the 5-year plan so that we have it.
Yeah, so I just did a quick check. The whole project is 3.5 million, and we break it down by 4 years. So each year,
Okay.
Yep, this is the 2021 we budgeted spend the 3/4 on this project
Yeah.
of the total 3.5 million.
Yeah. Very good. Okay, I understand now.
Okay.
Are there any
That's all
other?
I had.
Thank you. Commissioner
Okay,
Duarte.
thank you.
Thank you, E. Are there any other questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing none. E, please continue.
Okay. So next we'll go to the sewer. Let me open the file. Okay. So sewer revenue are same thing developed using historic data ended December 2019, and sewer rates will remain the same for 2021. Overall QBC sales budgeted for 2021 are 13% higher than sales budget for 2020. Revenue proposed for 2021 are 4.3 million, which is 11% or 467,000 more compared with 2020. So, question for revenue.
Okay, hearing none, please continue.
Operating and maintenance expense. So, let me see here. Operating and maintenance expense on page 2, which shows 25% increase, which is 669,000. Breakdown by labor and non-labor. Labor increased by 20%, which is 203,000, which increase. Let me see. Where's my? Excuse me. One moment. So labor expense increased by 20%, or 204,000, compared with 2020, which include one new position budgeted in sewer operation and one new position budgeted in IT operation for allocation. And non-labor expense increased by 29%, which is almost $500,000 from last year's budget, which include an increase of benefit and insurance expense of 21,000, an increase of a city service charge of 8,000, bond issuing and interest expense of 60,000 related to the new bonding, and consulting service of $250,000 for collection system planning, resiliency planning, grant and asset management planning, and increase of sludge hauling of 21,000, and a service contract of 56,000 added for odor removal. So this is the major change for operating and maintenance expense for sewer budget proposed for 2021. Any question from here?
Hearing none, please continue.
All this result in operating earnings budgeted 670,000, which is 19% less than 2020 budget. And keep continue. Net earning is budgeted at 413,000, which is 31% decrease than the 2020 budget. Let's go to the page 4, the cash flow. So for cash flow, the same thing we started with net earnings, and adding back the depreciation, adding back and the new bonding issuing almost 1 million, and we got almost 1.7 million cash available to fund the non-bonded capital for IT and customer service, and the bonded capital projects and fund the debt service, $325,000, and also we keep $50,000 as working capital. So net cash flow for fiscal 2021 proposed is $256,000 positive, and which bring the cash balance from $2.7 million to $3 million as budgeted at the end of the year. The same thing, we did a comparison, and this $3 million of projected ending cash balance is higher than the cost of service, the projected cash balance of $1.7 million, and the recommended cash balance of $1.4 million. So the management feel pretty comfortable with the sewer cash. So any question with the cash flow?
Oh, hearing none, please continue.
We go to the Groton project. So for 2021, there's no non-bonded capital projection for sewer operation. But same thing for capital for IT, which has the $45,000 allocated to sewer, and non-bonded capital of customer service allocate $15,000 to sewer. So its total is $68,000, $61,000 of non-bonded capital for the sewer division, which all came from the IT and customer service. And for a bonded capital project, they proposed $995,000 and listed 5 projects here. And also they have, like all other divisions, they have 5 years plan. This is just the allocate budgeted for 2021, and the total 5-year bonding plan is $5 million, and also is waiting for the approval from the City Council and the City of Freeman. So this is the capital budget for sewer division. Any questions?
Any
Yes.
questions?
Paul Duart. All those things that we've been talking about that needs to be done at the PAF, how much, I mean, are those things in here? Is the replacement for the screen going into the plant in here? Are those pumps that are, questionable, are they being replaced by this budget?
Ray, can you help with answering that
Sure.
question?
This is Rick Stevens. To answer your question, Paul, if you remember, with the plant itself, we are going to go out with a facility plan to help guide us into the future, and then that will help us to determine costs we'd spend in our long-term planning for the bond fund. In regards to the collection system, the facility planning for that is in the 2021 fiscal year budget. In terms of the list that Ray and Mike Weber put together with Joe Pratt on the equipment, we've actually been working on some of that in this fiscal year. So the maintenance items that were identified in Ray and Mike's plan, I think it totaled about $500,000. We've been working on those items one by one to get those done. The ones that aren't done, they're forecasted on a priority basis. In terms of failure, they're predicted for this fiscal year 20 and for next year fiscal year 2021. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it does, because that's I just wanted to make sure that some of those priorities that identified at the PAF were being addressed in this budget.
Any other questions on sewer?
Yeah, Commissioner Scully here. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. For some reason I was muted. Going back to revenues, you're projecting a 13% increase in cubic foot sales. But on the water side, you're only projecting a 1% increase. So where's that 13% coming from if the sewer cubic feet is directly tied to the water sales? So I'm kind of confused how you can have an increase to one and not the other.
Okay, I can answer this question. This is Yi Shang again, and you're right and wrong. And water and sewer, they have a different range of the customers. So not all water customers are the sewer customers. Sewer customer only the city, the area. So the major change for sewer on the cubic feet, the increase came from the deduction from the fiber. So last year, you can see the budget. We budgeted 3.9 million, but if you look at the here the 2019 actual, we got the 4.3 million. So we are budgeted based on the more as actual. Cause I think last year we budgeted more conservative because we don't have the whole year data. It's kind of like try to be the conservative.
Right. Just a
So
reminder.
I don't know if this answers your question or not.
Yeah, go ahead, Commissioner Scully.
So the increase would come from less deduct? Is that what I get from what you just said?
Correct. If you can see from this industry,
Okay.
this is a major change of the revenue side. This is 16%, which is 400,000 from the direct from the industrial, which is only I think 2 customers, right?
Okay, then that makes sense.
And just a reminder to all of us, we are now, for the sewer budget, we're going into our 3rd year, right? We're currently in our 2nd year, and the first year was a projection. The 2nd year, we were able to revise it a little bit and to tweak it a little bit based on first year actuals. Now that we're going into our 3rd year, we now have 2 years under our belt, and we're able to tweak it a little more to get a little more precise. So that's where we're going. Any other questions or comments from the commission on sewer?
I have none.
Okay, that concludes our business. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Oh, correction. Finance Director Uhas?
This is Ron. I just want to take this time to thank Nicole, and the entire staff, Aaron, and all the general managers that put a lot of time and effort into putting these budgets together. So I just want to recognize them and thank them for everything that they've done.
Yeah, I agree with that. You did a great presentation on a complicated budget. So thank you for your presentation, and thank everyone that was involved in putting this budget together, because it is a complicated budget. I agree. Commissioner Giuliani.
Ditto. Ron, your people did work very hard on this budget. It's very much appreciated.
In this budget, Ron Gay was done remote. 80% remote. It was amazing, and there is about 20 people on this call. You may not hear them, but everybody has learned how to Skype and really actually have daily meetings working online. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Well, the pandemic has forced us to do things that we haven't done. We're doing them in a different way. There may be lessons learned that we could pull from this to help us be more efficient in the future. We'll see how that goes. All right. With that, I need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
I have a
Second.
motion. We have a motion and a second. We are adjourned. Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, staff, for everything that you've done and for everything you do every day to keep the lights and the water and the sewer on. Thank you. This concludes our meeting.
Thank you.